Hi, my name is Melody Dalili. I'm 16 and a junior in high school, and I have lost 7 people to suicide. Friday morning, today is Sunday, so Friday morning, my guidance counselor pulled me aside after a club meeting, and she told me that I could have the opportunity to talk to other people who went through the same things that I went through, or who are going through the same things that I am going through. And my initial response was, "Are you sure?" And she told me that she usually isn't wrong about these kind of things, and that she was positive. And so, while I am so gutted that I have to talk about something like this, I am so thankful that you and people who have experienced a loss due to suicide are surrounding yourself with these kind of conversations, because when I lost my family, friends, and the cousin who I was closest to, and a teammate, and my childhood best friend, back to back, the last thing I wanted to hear about was mental health. And the last thing that I wanted to hear about was suicide prevention. And really, it was something that I needed to talk about, and it was something that I needed to hear about. So by surrounding yourself with conversations like these, conversations that are about mental health and conversations that are about suicide prevention, that was mine and can be yours first step into healing. So I want to start with the dream that I had. First off, I'm sorry for filming this in my car. It's the quietest place that I have in my house. But I want to start with talking about a dream that I had Friday morning before my guidance counselor pulled me aside. I was on the beach, and I know it's cliche, but I was on the beach, and my friend who committed suicide in October of 2020 came up to me, and she was a senior in high school, and one of my volleyball teammates, and somebody who could really make you feel at home in a really short time. I remember the first time I met her, we were partners on the volleyball court for a drill, and I remember looking at her, and she was only wearing spandex and a sports bra, because it was almost 100 degrees inside of the gym. It was really hot. All of us were sweating, and I remember looking at her and telling her that we were partners, and she looked at me and she kind of paused, and I remember telling her that I could switch partners if I wanted to, or if she wanted me to, or I could choose somebody else, and that we didn't have to be partners. And she looked at me and she said, "Are you kidding? I'd love to." And I just remember feeling so at home with the person sitting next to me. So she was in my dream, and I remember she came up to me, and I touched her face, and I looked at her and I said, "You're dead." And she looked at me, and she tilted her head a little bit, and she smiled, and she said, "No, I'm not." And I remember waking up and feeling so angry, like I was forced to keep going and she left too early, or that I know something that she doesn't. And after talking with my guidance counselor and hearing that other people are going through the same things that I went through, and hearing that I might be able to share my favorite things about her and my favorite things about the other people who I've lost, I think I understand what she's saying. She has passed, but her memory is still alive. And by choosing to talk about it, and by choosing to talk about the things that we love, and by being a big puzzle piece full of all of the fragments of the favorite things from the people who have passed. I am just a molded sculpture of all of my favorite things from the people who have died. And by choosing to talk about it, we are keeping them alive. So I will never be the same, and I'm not going to say that it has made me a better person, because it hasn't. And I'm not going to say that there's a learning lesson from this, because there isn't. There are still pieces with her that I take with me everywhere I go. I have this ring that is the birthstone of my childhood best friend, and I have this one, which is her initial with a butterfly. I always leave my sunroof open because she told me that I was wronging her if I didn't, and that there are so many things to see outside, and by keeping it closed, I'm shutting them out. I can't drive with my passenger seat empty. That's my driver's seat. I'm sitting in my passenger seat, but whenever I drive, I can't leave my passenger seat empty because I'm not used to seeing it empty. When the sun sets, I have to turn my volume up because I'm not used to the silence. I always check my phone to see what time the sun is setting. And it's not meant to happen. And I'm not going to say that everything happens for a reason, because they don't. But the people who I was closest to, who made the decision to leave, the only thing that we can do is make the choice to stay. And so, again, by being that big puzzle piece full of all of the things that I love about the people who are gone, and by making the choice to surround yourself with conversations about mental health and suicide prevention, that is my way of keeping them alive and their memory alive. And I know that even though it is so hard, I ended up relapsing when she passed away, and I ended up losing my appetite and turning back to old behaviors. But now I'm sitting here, and I know that the only thing that I can do, is stay. So I am so thankful for you, for making the effort to watch this and surround yourself with people who I don't fully understand how you're feeling, and I'm never going to understand how you're feeling, but surrounding yourself with people who have gone through similar experiences is the first step into healing. And I imagine in the end it will be so worth it. Thank you.